Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Chargers.
Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. They'll start the drive with Harris. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6. Now second and 4. Here's another carry for Harris. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4.
Back to throw, Pickett.
He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
Quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage. And that throw had no shot.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Harris running straight ahead. Running right through him. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
There goes a deep ball, end zone, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive.
Well, they certainly weren't afraid to let it fly early, and they hope that'll keep the defense honest and keep the offensive guys excited about getting back out there. They are in attack mode in this game. It did backfire a little bit. Now you're just hoping your defense can keep them off the scoreboard so you're not facing a deficit the next time you run out there.
Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10.
At their own 27. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Once more, here's Eckler. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
The Chargers are 12-2 now on the year. And Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Herbert now. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. So they'll wind up losing 7 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Now that had trouble written on it from the start.
Yeah, I'd say, partner, sometimes you just got to know when to surrender and mitigate the loss. Instead, he kept going backwards, and now it's 3rd and long. Good luck with this play call.
1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Here's Herbert. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18. Running on 1st down, Eckler.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught.
Partner, it took a while for him to lock onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Play action. It's Herbert. Into the hands of Williams across the formation. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
This is a counter play. Eckler. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense because, to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Back to throw here, Herbert. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. No score after 1 on EA Sports. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, Herbert. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
Hopkins' kick is good, and the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead.
Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there, all the things that have gone on. And the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult pull to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Pickett now from the gun here. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time, separation. That's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, oh, he's a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On the give, this is Harris. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Pickett. Completion here to Claypool.
Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play that time on the catch and run, and it'll result in a fresh set of downs.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Pickett to throw on 1st down.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10.
Pickett.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
This drive, they're perfect 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversion. completions, but they need a full 10 yards here.
Dialing up another pass here. Pickett.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted.
Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr.
And the Chargers are going to take over at their own 41.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
The Charger drive about to get going. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Herbert off of play action. On the move to his left. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
We always hear from coaches how much they like to run crossing routes because they want to hit the receivers on the go, get them the ball, and keep them moving. How about when you hit a tight end that way? Okay, the receivers are going to run past you most of the time. The tight end, they can do their damage a different way, break a few tackles and really scatter some people, can't they?
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass.
Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Draw play. It's Eckler. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams.
But it's intercepted. They got Pickett for the 3rd time in this game.
Picked off by Akello Witherspoon.
And the Chargers are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
I'm as puzzled as you are, partner. I don't understand how any time you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
Pickett leads the Steelers up here with a fresh set of downs.
At their own 19-yard line.
Harris will start the drive out. 46 yards rushing for him now to this point.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Pickett back to throw.
That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson.
Pickett finding Johnson there. 1st down, Steelers.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Pickett now to throw off the play fake. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Fryermuth.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Pickett right back to the air again.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack.
Pickett. Oh, it's intercepted. They got Pickett for the 3rd time in this game.
Picked up by J.C. Jackson. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field. I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
2nd and 11. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert.
And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Herbert. And this is caught by Williams. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And the Chargers going to signal for the 1st of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted.
And the Steelers are going to have it here at their own 15. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Michael Davis. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Charger TD.
But Charles, you can just see the frustration on the sideline. Safe to say that's not how they expected this series to go. The ball only went one way, and it was backward into their own end zone, courtesy of the pick 6.
And, Brandon, how often do we hear offenses tell us before a game they want to end every series with a kick, right? A punt, a PAT, or a field goal. In the case of a defense, they want to end with a punt or a takeaway. And we saw the takeaway right there, and it turned out to be a takeaway that turned into 6 points.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
So we've reached halftime here. Let's throw in a broadcaster cliche, shall we? Both teams looking for a gift on Christmas Eve. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. And this will not be returned, so the second half begins with a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And despite the turnovers, Charles, and they had multiple in that first half, they still have the lead as they begin this third quarter.
And they probably heard some conflicting...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So they keep the football, but now face second and long. Now Herbert off the bootleg, rolling to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third.
Well, sometimes an incompletion is the right play, and he showed that he's learned from his earlier interception on that throw. Instead of forcing it, he just tossed it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Herbert. Got a man, it's complete, it's Palmer. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That was no 3rd and 2, that was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. A play fake, and now Herbert to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. They moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
It's Eckler again. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. He'll buy some time right. He'll find Everett there, complete. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he fights his way in for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Chargers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9. They run again with Harris. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
74 yards rushing for him so far in this one as he nears 1,400 for the year.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's got room. Runs over it. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
Anyone who watched Najee Harris at Alabama knows the kind of strength that this guy runs with, and he's continuing on that path here at the next level.
Yeah, and this is most definitely the guy you want running the football when you need the tough yards on third down. And he moves the chains and then some as he shakes off that first contact. And as they said in the 70s, he just keeps right on trucking.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He gets it left side to Johnson.
And the Steelers are going to be set up with a first and goal here as the tackle made at the 9.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at first and goal.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. They hand this off to Harris, and he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown.
Najee Harris
with touchdown number 12 on the year.
And the Steelers are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them at the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
We'll see a return here from the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
On first down, it's Herbert. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, LA.
And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation. Knowing when it exists to go to it, they did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays, give us a break, back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better?
Pickett lost it.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. Now Pickett.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Khalil Mack in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. The Steelers send out their punter now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position. Eckler now between the tackles.
And they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 54 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Up the middle with Eckler. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
A handoff, it's Eckler. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That second down play nets a -4.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown.
Mike Williams
with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season.
And the Chargers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here this 4th quarter.
Now it's Hopkins to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. throwing the touchdown. Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. And you have to wonder, Charles, in a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Give them 12 yards there, and the Chargers have a first down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. First down, and they stick with Eckler. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Completion here to Claypool. And he goes down at the 26. A pickup of 13, and that last play began at the 13. First down. First and 10, here's Pickett. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Pickett. Flushed out right. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Pickett, he's going to throw it again. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Michael Davis. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. The CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And they take a knee.